Kia ora, brothers and girls, welcome back to the channel. You don't get just one tape breakdown, you get two breakdowns. Two tape breakdowns, all in the same day. So, I mean, if there's one good thing to come out of lockdowns is that I can actually finally get some time to release some of these videos in good time. Okay, so let's talk about Pyramid X. And she's pretty tough, man. I'm not gonna go through through all her abilities because that's in my previous video on the first run in the 4-star challenge. But the main thing you need to know about is she's got plus 90% armor, which is going to be a pain in the ass, and also she has aggression, prowess, and all her special attacks do a lot of damage. So let's first learn how to evade that SP1. Let's slow that down. She's going to wave up, you need to back away, and then she's going to throw 3 shards. 1, 2, and then there's going to be a delay, and then she is going to throw the third one. Let's see that in real time, yeah? So she comes up, and then she's going to throw 1, 2, and then she's going to throw the third one, yeah? In real time, 1, 2, and a delay, and a 3. So if you can figure out how to evade that, then you're all golden. Now, she doesn't have a power gain, so you can actually just keep her with the SP1 and keep evading that. Prowess charges are fantastic so long as they don't hit you. It doesn't really matter how many prowess charges she has, because if you can dex all 3 reliably and consistently, she could have 100 prowess charges, and you're never going to take damage. So the trick here is being a little bit patient, and also there's 2 ways you can go here. Okay, one way, of course, is damage over time. And the other way is bring someone who has high crit rating. Because if you can hit a crit, you can bypass the armor and the glancing. Thing is, she does do a lot. She glances off a lot of hits. So most of the time, you're only doing like 100 damage per hit or so. But every now and then, you hit a crit, and you can ramp it up to 2,000, 2,600, 3,000, whatever it is. Now, if you want to watch, I have not put a version of Archangel, I don't think, in this video. But if you want to watch Archangel almost one-shot her, again, go back to my 4-star challenge video. It's on the channel, Chapter 3, Map 2, From Beyond 4-star challenge. And you'll see that Archangel could take this woman from about 90% health, almost dead. Yeah, so Void works pretty great. Archangel also works really, really great. So in this particular fight, I get halfway with Void. I get clipped at the end. Probably lose a little bit of concentration because you're evading that SP1 consistently. You're likely to slip up at one point in time, or your girlfriend asks you something, or you take your eyes off the ball to check something out, and you're gone. So I think I did a Void Archangel split for this one. Now, both of them are fantastic options, and like I say, if you work out the timing of that SP1 and you can reliably evade that SP1, you can one-shot this with Void or Archangel. Archangel is fantastic because Archangel is actually an MVP for this month's quest, because he can get past both the new champs. Both of them are not bleed immune, they're not poison immune, they're not stun immune, which makes Archangel just the answer. If you have a stacked version, or if you have a high 5-star version of this guy, you're going to have an easy time, right? Just heavy parry all day long. All you got to do is just learn how to evade that SP1, and the damage will take care of itself, right? And this guy does so much damage over time, he's actually going to be better off than someone with high attack and high crit rates. So, as you can see here, 50% gone, the other 50 with Void, the other 50% gone with Archangel. We'll split that and call it good. So that's one way to get past Storm, Pyramid X Storm. I don't know what we're supposed to call her, and I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know the nomenclature, like now we have 2 SS's, like if my alliance says SS, I don't know now if it's Symbiote Supreme or Sorcerer Supreme, and if they say Storm, I don't know if it's like X Storm, or maybe you would call her Storm X, right? Storm X, let's call her that. So another option is to take in Stark Spidey. And this may seem stupid, because I just told you, taking damage over time chance, right? And I said, she's got plus 90% armor, and you're going to do bugger all damage to her, which is true. But with 10 points charges, Starkey has a lot of crit ratings. And the fact of the matter is, he's got that assisted evade on the SP1, so even if you kind of mistime a little bit the SP1, sometimes you can get away with it from that auto evade. And also, because of the increased crit rate, he's got a really good chance of bypassing that plus 90% armor and getting in there with a crit. Yeah, so even as a 4-star, he can get in there and do some damage, right? You can see every combo I'm probably bypassing one of the hits and getting a 2,000, 3,000 on her. Also, of course, you've got a ton of damage over time on that SP2 with that shock, particularly at 10 points charges, right? And the assisted evades help. Poise charge and crit rating helps. Damage over time helps. You got the class advantage, and also you've got that taunt, which keeps her pushing that SP1 out. Now, don't even try to go to the SP2, okay? And don't even try to evade the SP2, because there is no point, right? You're not going to do it. You're not going to evade it. I don't know how it works. I don't know how to evade it. If you figured that out, please let me know. Yeah, I might figure it out like in 3 months time when I've met this champ a million times and not a very stacked, uncollected final boss version of her. But at the moment, SP1 evade is the way I'm going to go. Now, another option that could work here is also stun lock Spidey. So if you take Spidey and you've got that stun mastery, and you take Kamala Khan or Miles Morales in, you can kind of stun lock her for a lot of damage, probably about 50% of her damage, and then you can hit her with a taunt and power drain. Problem is, if you get a glancing hit on the power drain, which has happened to me, at 100%, you're going straight in the bin, like straight in the bin, right? If she reaches SP2 and above, that's it. Forget about it. You're done. Okay, because she's all about special attacks and her prowess. That's where the bulk of her damage comes in. But so Starkey there does a pretty good job, gets us 50% of the way, and we're going to do the other 50% with magic. Now with magic, again, you also have to be a little bit careful. Okay, the power drain is fantastic because when you power drain, you disable her tempests. Okay, and so you disable a little bit of her efficiency. But you're not going to get to SP2 before she does. So you are going to have to bait out her SP1 at least once. So you got to be quite familiar with the timing of it before bringing in the magic. You probably don't have to if you're bringing in Dormammu, but if you're bringing in the magic, you have to be good with the timing. But once you get to the SP2, it becomes just bread and butter for magic, right? We're power locked, and we're just gonna go in. And if you're pretty good at backdraft intercepts as well, you can just chuck her in the corner, keep backdrafting, and just finish her off, right? And so once we get our line set up, we get to the SP2, we get her power locked, get her in the corner. We're having a great old time here with magic, and she becomes a lot easier to deal with. Now, in this particular fight, I've also got Warlock with magic to enhance her synergy. So when Warlock and magic quest together, magic gets like plus 50% damage in limbo. So if you start seeing, when you start seeing 6,000 damage crits on the limbo, it's not because magic hits incredibly hard, and she does, but it's also particularly because of that synergy, right? So that's a really good synergy to have if you have a Warlock. Works with any star rating Warlock. You can have a 3-star or a 4-star version in there, and you probably get that same enhancement. So if you are going to use magic for this fight, I highly recommend that synergy. Now, this next fight is with Starkey, and this one I think goes, from memory, I think it's not a one-shot, but it goes a lot better than the last fight where we did 50-50 with magic. So at this point in time, I've kind of faced Storm X a few times, okay? And I've kind of got the timing down of the SP1. And I'm going to go like, okay, let me just build up the 10 poise charges. I know what's happening with the SP1. I know I can reliably evade it. 1, 2, and 3. And I know that Starkey is a good option here, right? Because I've already watched my own tape, and I've watched my mistakes, and I've watched how to evade, and I've kind of already had a sneak preview, so I kind of know what to expect. I kind of know what's coming, and I know that he can kind of get in with the crits and do damage. And so at this point in time, I'm just trying to concentrate and trying to be quite consistent with my evades, quite consistent with my openings. And I think very late on, I figure out that you can evade that. If you get really, really comfortable with the timing, you can evade that SP1 and get straight back in. Okay, but you can see at the very start of this fight, and actually you could probably see for most of the video, I'm not that comfortable, and I missed the third one, and then I'm just like, okay, hang on, have I done it or not? Yep, yeah, I've evaded it. Okay, and then I wait for her to throw the heavy before I go in. But I think later on, probably the last couple of runs I did, I got really, really comfortable with hitting the SP1, evading the SP1, and I can go straight back in afterwards. And you can see there, like Starkey has a reliable method to actually bypass that armor with his crits, and it's really, really good. So in theory, if you have a maxed out 4-star version and you play him really, really well, or chuck a few boosts on, you can easily one-shot her with just Starkey, and you don't need anybody else. So if you don't have a Void option and you don't have an Archangel option, that's one way to do it. But I would definitely probably bring 2 or 3 champs for this fight that can do the business. So maybe like Starkey and Archangel, or Starkey, Archangel, and Void, or Starkey, Archangel, Void, and Magic. So yeah, take your pick from this list depending on who you have. So I'm gonna get clipped here. I take my eye off the ball for a second. I get clipped, but that was almost a one shot, right? That was really, really pretty good with 4-star. I was quite happy with that performance. And then finally, if you happen to have Warlock, I love this. I love this guy. I love Warlock. He, like, when I pulled this guy, and I pulled him recently, I was almost as excited as when I pulled Thing. I don't know if you guys have been following the channel for a long time, but when I pulled Thing for the first time as a 6-star out of like nowhere, I was probably the most excited about the game I had ever been in my like 2 or 3 years of playing. But when I pulled Warlock, man, for the first time in a long time, I was well and truly excited about pulling a champ. Like, wow, Warlock, amazing. So yeah, this guy is so good. And he's really good in here because you can manage her power. Because once she's infected, you have a chance for every infection. You have a chance. You don't have a chance. Sorry. For every infection, the SP1 drains 25% of the power. 25% per infection. If she's infected twice, because they can stack, you can drain 50% of the power. So you can easily keep her within that range of like SP1 while still playing aggressively, while still keeping the prowess nodes down, while still keeping the virus on. And so yeah, and so you can do a ton of damage. So here we've got a lot of life. We've got the permafrost, which reduces the prowesses, which reduces special attacks. We can manage our power well, and we can just do a ton of damage. And we've got the class advantage, and we've got shock as well, which does damage over time. And you might even, if your Warlock is awakened, you might even have degen. So I think at the end of this one, what happens is I probably get clipped. I don't think this is a one-shot, but don't let that deter you from using Warlock. I think I make a very, very tight mistake from memory, and I can't remember what it is. Oh, that's right. I did the SP2, and I thought she would stay under SP1, and she didn't, and she got the SP2. And as I've always said, once she hits SP2 and above, that's it, you're done. It doesn't even matter if you have a maxed out 5-star or not, you're gone. Right? So don't push her to her SP2, don't push her to her SP3. And so, again, it's always nice to have a couple options to be able to finish her off, because even if you play really, really well, it can be a bit of a long fight, and you are likely to make mistakes. The longer the fight is, the more likely you are to slip up once or twice, right? Because you get a little bit complacent, you get a little bit tired mentally, and you make a few mistakes. So yeah, man. Hopefully this all helped you out, guys. She's a really cool looking boss. She looks like she's got a ton of potential as well on attack. But once you figure out how to evade that SP1, and once you can work around her, she can be a very easy boss to deal with. Hopefully this helped you out. If it did, like, subscribe, and support the channel. It allows us to bring more videos of this, like, really cool breakdowns of how to get through the harder content. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Ka kite, no bros and girls.